back to Create2Game, where we connect creators and gaming. I'm Moogli, and I'll catch you up on this week's gaming news. When it comes to gaming, does it matter if your character is attractive? Square Enix's Tetsuya Nomura did an interview with Young Jump and shared that he purposely designed the Final Fantasy characters to be attractive. For those of you listening on audio only, I'm doing air quotes here because attractiveness is subjective, of course. Well, apparently his idea stemmed from a conversation he had when he was in high school where a classmate was playing a game and said something along the lines of wanting to be good looking in the game. And that kind of inspired Nomura's character world and character designs to make the characters attractive. What are your thoughts on this? Does it matter if a character is attractive in a game? Does it depend on the game? I mean, for me, I usually really enjoy the character customization. It'll take me way too long to get the character to either look exactly like me, slightly better looking in the game, or just like so fantastical. Unless I'm playing something like League where I'm not going to pick the cutest character, I'm picking a character for their skill set. So for example, my friends will make fun of me for playing Urgot because he's Urgot, but I'm not picking him for his looks. I'm picking him because he's fun to play, he's tanky, and he flips people. And you throw out your little skill shot, ult, chain, and it's like an instant kill. So the point of that is I'm not super into character attractiveness necessarily. It's not going to make me want to pick them and play them, I don't think, but maybe it helps for some people. I do try to pick, like if I'm playing a story game and there are characters and one of them kind of looks like me, I'll pick that one, I guess, but I don't know, I want to hear what everybody else thinks. Nintendo and the Pokémon Company are suing the creators of Palworld for infringement and compensation over Pokémon patents regarding the pals and their similarities to Pokémon. Honestly, who hasn't seen this coming? Before the game even dropped, everybody kind of knew this was going to happen. It was like a joke, like, oh, play it before the lawsuit hits, but now the time's actually come. It doesn't even seem like big news, at least to me anymore, because I was joking about it since the game dropped in, I think, January of this year. So for you guys who haven't played it or need a refresher, Palworld has been referred to as Pokemon with guns. It's an open world game where you build, you try to gather resources, you capture pals, and eventually you either off them for food and supplies, or you capture them and keep them on your camp or your base as a way to gather resources more efficiently. Anyway, we all know that the pals and the Pokemon look kind of similar, and I'm sure I'm not the only one who from time to time will call a Grintail a Galarian Meowth or a Lamball a Wooloo. But jokes aside, the time for the lawsuit has finally come, and I'll keep you updated as more things progress. But Palworld really is a fun game, and part of the appeal was being able to give Grookie a rocket launcher. Okay, technically it's not a Grookie. Don't come for me. Although I won't stop saying how cute the cow Snorlax is, because it truly is adorable. Really though, I feel like you can tell the differences between pals and Pokemon. So if you asked me 6-8 months ago, when the game first came out, when the trailers were out, I would have said, they look so similar. I get where this is coming from, but I also didn't know Pokemon that well then, so you could have showed me, we could have played that game where you show me a Pokemon or a pal and I don't know what game it's from. Now that I've looked at Pokemon every day, multiple times a day, I can safely push my glasses higher up the bridge of my nose and point out the stark differences between Pokemon and pals. So I don't know, I think it's just familiarity with the difference. Sure, they're similar. How far are you gonna go? I guess it's up to the lawyers now to decide who will win this lawsuit. I really think they're gonna settle it out of court unless Palworld devs are just like, no, we are not backing down. We're gonna take this as far as possible. Plus, now they have Sony behind them. So Palworld's parent company, Pocket Parent, announced a joint venture with Sony Music Entertainment and Aniplex in July, which will be known as Palworld Entertainment. So we'll see how a backing from Sony will potentially affect this lawsuit. Palworld was even mentioned in the September PlayStation State of Play, announcing its crossplay on PlayStation 5. So they're not backing down at all after the lawsuit right now. We'll see how it turns out. More from the State of Play this week. There's also an Astro Bot free DLC coming this fall, so that's fun. Hitman VR is launching in December. I always thought that game looked so cool. Never played it because I suck at FPS and stealth games. Would watch my friends play it. Looks super fun. Kind of be cool to try it in VR and see how you can sneak around and snipe people. There is a new trailer for that in State of Play and confirmation that the game's coming out in February of next year, so we have that to look forward to. Ghost of Yotei. So there will be a sequel to Ghost of Tsushima, Ghost of Yotei, coming out in 2025. It looks really fun. It looks really cool. People are getting hyped about it. Let me know if you think you're gonna play. I'll probably watch my partner play. Shout out Lee Swag. But yeah, it looks awesome. Assassin's Creed Shadows was pushed back. The release date was pushed back, but instead of just like saying, oops, sorry, it's pushed back, pre-orders, like if you pre-ordered it, tough luck, you gotta wait. They're refunding pre-orders for people who want it, but if you do pre-order, you get bonus content. I think you get the DLC early or included with the game, so that's pretty cool. I think that's a good idea instead of just shooting out a game early that's not ready. So let me know your thoughts on that. I know that one is one that like everybody's been looking forward to. I'm pretty sure Lee Swag is looking forward to that too because he told me about this announcement. But yeah, I think it was a decent point to just like come out and say, be open and honest and say, we want to make this game great, so we're pushing back the release date, but don't worry, if you already spent money on the pre-order, we'll get that money back to you. And if you want to just wait and you still are excited for the game, then guess what? You get the DLC too. So that's pretty awesome. The opposite of awesome. Apparently, TwitchCon was wild, but it was probably good for the most part. I just keep hearing silly things that happened. In my younger days, I probably would have gone to TwitchCon too, but I'm kind of glad I missed out on this chaotic mess. Some Kick streamers are getting flack because apparently there were some ne'er-do-wells causing trouble and chaos and scaring people at TwitchCon. Yes. One streamer apparently pushed another streamer into an oncoming train. Some streamers may have been trying to lick and kiss people at a meet and greet. It sounded like a whole mess. My partner and I, whom I've mentioned like 3 times now in this episode, have been watching YouTube and the Twitch streamer Ludwig, so of course I had to include a quote from Ludwig himself. He tweeted out, quote, "The amount of clips I've seen of Kick streamers harassing people at TwitchCon is insane. I feel like the main thing stopping that platform from succeeding are some of the people on it." End quote. Big words, my guy. Big words. I guess a lot of the chaos came from people trying to do crazy stuff on IRL live streams while there. So I can see things getting out of hand. It's like, ooh, let's do something ridiculous. Look at this famous streamer. Let's go up to this person and do something silly and nutty that's gonna make everybody react and we'll get a whole bunch of views. And that's kind of poopy. That's kind of bad vibes all around. Like, you shouldn't be harassing other people for views in general, and it just gets a little rowdy when like there's so many people who are doing the same thing in the same place and like farming for views. But in response, Kick CEO shared the following on X. Quote, "TwitchCon is an incredible event that brings together creators from all platforms, and we're grateful to Twitch for giving our community the chance to participate. However, the actions of a few individuals don't reflect the broader platform, and multiple accounts have been suspended for violating our IRL streaming policies." End quote. And it also seems like there may be additional changes that they'll look into to try to see how to better, I guess, how to keep things like this from happening again. Really, I feel like this, you just can't keep this from happening. I also heard people talking negatively about why Kick streamers are at TwitchCon. I don't really think that's the issue. I think the issue is just harassing people and getting out of hand. Like, you can go, you can stream. I love if I can't go to an event and I check YouTube later in the week or whatever, bam, someone was there. They have a really well laid out story about everything that went on at the event. I think that's great. I don't think you have to be like popular on Twitch to go, and you also stream on Kick or YouTube or whatever, TikTok, I guess. But like, just don't harass people. It's easy. Just don't harass people. But nobody cares what I think. I want to hear what you guys think. Please let me know. Did you know, by the way, that if you're on YouTube, you can comment? You probably knew that. If you're listening on Spotify, you can also comment on every episode. If you're listening on Apple, I don't know if you can comment because I don't have any Apple products. But did that make you a little angry? Leave a comment. Let me know. Let me know how boomer I am for not having an iPhone. Here are some of the games coming out this week. We got Economics, Road Waters, and Sunny Legacy Collection all coming out on PC September 30th. Master Detective Archives, Raincode Plus, and Throne and Liberty will be out for the PS5, Xbox, and PC on October 1st. Kill Knight, K-Vark, Mecha Warrior 5 Clans, and Victory Heat Rally will be out on October 3rd. And Until Dawn and SpongeBob SquarePants, the Patrick Star game, will both release on October 4th. Thanks again for tuning in to another episode of Create2Game. You can find me on Valkence Social at Moogli, and to join yourself, go to social.valkence.com. You can also find me on all other social media platforms at MoogliGames. Be sure to head to valkence.com for updates on all of our other podcasts, latest news, and more from the Valkence family. See you next time.